Hi, I'm Marty Snowbarger with the Farmington Police Department Traffic Unit. We're here to do some videos on motorcycle safety, because May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and we'd like you to be safer riders. Enjoy watching. Welcome back to this episode of Traffic Tip Tuesday. We're here at Four Corners Harley-Davidson, and for this tip, we're going to talk about helmet safety. We're going to talk about some laws in New Mexico and how the helmets can help protect your head in the case of a collision. What some of you may or may not know is we have a statute covering helmet usage in the state of New Mexico. Essentially, it's covered under 66-7-356, which is the state statute for helmet usage. Essentially says that anybody under the age of 18 must wear a helmet when operating a motorcycle or riding on a motorcycle. Unfortunately, not all motorcycle crashes are survivable, and wearing a helmet does not guarantee you safety. However, the National Highway Safety Transportation Administration, or NHTSA, has conducted studies about the survivability of motorcycle crashes involving helmet usage. And what they have found through their research is that you're 40 times more likely to die in a motorcycle crash if you're not wearing a helmet that is DOT approved. And you're 15% more likely to suffer a non-fatal head injury than a helmet or rider who is not helmeted. Okay, so what does this mean to us as taxpayers? We have to pay extra money for people who are involved in collisions who are not wearing helmets, because the medical costs have to be paid somewhere. So what NHTSA has calculated is that a helmeted rider would spend about $2.3 million on a brain injury during their lifetime. An unhelmeted rider, those costs would double to about $4.5 million. It's quite a substantial savings if we can just wear helmets. They've also estimated that in 2002 alone, we would have saved over $1.3 billion nationwide. Again, that's a billion with a B. So what kind of helmet should we wear? We're going to talk about several different kinds of helmets throughout this presentation. The bottom line is you need to wear the best fitting helmet and the one that you can afford the most. So we're going to talk about a variety of helmets here, but you want to have something that is a DOT compliant. DOT is a standard that is accepted nationwide for the Department of Transportation and undergoes rigorous testing. What they found through doing some testing through the DOT compliancy is that novelty helmets, and I have one here, which is just simply a shell. There's really nothing to this helmet. It's kind of a fiberglass or a plastic shell. It does not have a DOT compliant sticker on the back, and it offers no padding to the rider. And you can see that this has no protection to it whatsoever. When we pull back the ear flaps, we see that we're looking straight at the shell of the helmet. There's no padding in here, just a little bit of soft lining. And when I push on this helmet, you can see it actually flex with just me squeezing it. So you can see there's absolutely no protection afforded by this helmet. If you want to be safe on your motorcycle, don't wear this. And during the study, what they found is with this helmet, this non-compliant novelty helmet, all 7 manufacturers that create these, when they underwent testing, all of them failed. So what does that mean to you as a rider? It means if you'd been wearing that helmet and you had fallen and hit your head, you would have sustained a fatal head injury in that collision. So what about New Mexico? What happens here in our state? In 2008, we had 45 motorcyclists who were killed on New Mexico roadways. 96% of them were not wearing a helmet at all. 31% of all fatal crashes in New Mexico, the riders were above a .08 blood alcohol content. So they were above the legal limit in alcohol consumption to be driving, period. Now, I've had the displeasure to work several motorcycle crashes within the city limits of Farmington, and I can tell you unequivocally that 3 of those incidents, had the riders been wearing a helmet, they would have survived. We've already discussed the novelty helmet, so what we're going to do is work from my right to my left. We're going to talk about each one of these helmets and the safety effects or safety things that they do have on them. So this one is what we call a half helmet. You can see it looks to be about half the size of the other one. It doesn't cover as much of the head, which is one of the problems. A lot of riders like to wear this because it's a little cooler, a little more comfortable to wear in the summer months. This particular helmet is equipped with a visor and a chin strap. And this one has a removable ear flaps for when it gets a little bit colder, you can put those down. Inside these helmets, and we'll take a little closer look a little later on at these, but they have significantly more padding and safety features on the inside than the novelty helmet has. And again, it's DOT compliant. The biggest problem with these is it doesn't offer the lower nape of the neck protection and the basilar skull impact protection that is afforded by other kinds of helmets. So moving on to the 3/4 helmet, I've personally ridden with these for a long time. Now I've moved on to a different type of helmet, but we rode with these on the police department for a number of years. These are very safe helmets, but they do not offer any frontal protection. So if you hit something and you go into your handlebars or into your windshield, for instance, you would not have the chin bar protection that these other ones offer. This particular helmet is a little bit lower on the head than this one. You can see where it would come down lower on the skull and protect that basilar skull, or this area right back in here. This particular helmet is equipped with a clear visor for nighttime use or inclement weather. When you raise that up, you can get more airflow. This one is also equipped with a sun visor, so you can use that in lieu of sunglasses, or in addition to sunglasses. Here in the New Mexico sun, land of enchantment here, it does get kind of bright at times. This is simply retracted with a quick push of the button, pops back out of your way relatively quickly. Again, a very safe helmet, and we rode with those for many, many years. The next helmet we're going to talk about is a modular helmet. This one incorporates all the safety aspects of this one, plus a few of the other ones, including a chin protection. It has the same lower head in protection over here, basilar neck safety and protection. It has a similar visor to protect from weather and inclement rain, wind, and so forth. And it has a modular chin bar which raises up. And you cannot ride with this helmet in this position. This will catch the wind and act as a sail and actually hurt your neck. And the manufacturer does not recommend that you do that. Again, this helmet is equipped with nice soft padding on the inside, very thick polystyrene protection on the inside. And we'll take a closer look at some of that here in a bit. And to use this one, you simply drop this down, it clicks into place and locks into place and offers you some impact protection, but not a whole lot. This is basically to make it more comfortable and shut out the wind and the rain and the elements when you're riding. The next helmet we have is a full face helmet. This one does not move in any particular way except for the visor. That opens up to allow airflow into the helmet. This one has a fixed chin bar, so there's no brake here for it to move. These are really common with your sport bike riders and some adventure touring riders that like these kinds of helmets because it does offer some front end protection. On this one, because this chin bar is made as part of the entire shell, it will offer some front impact protection if you go down. You notice that this particular helmet also has bright graphics on it with the neon orange. Very visible at a distance, makes the rider a little more visible than on these other helmets. Okay, on all of these helmets that are DOT compliant, you're going to find very similar features on the inside. Again, this one has a very comfortable liner that can be removed for washing. All it does is snap out with these little plastic snaps into the side of the helmet. You can hear it pop out. This white stuff is called polystyrene. It's similar to what you would use in those cheap styrofoam coolers, but it's very, very dense and offers the protection to your head. The way this is designed is, if you can see these little tiny cells in here, what they do in the case of a crash is they deform and allow your head to not absorb the impact. They absorb the energy for you. And all of these helmets carry that same feature. And again, the helmet liner just snaps in and out so you can wash it, and then snaps back in quite easily. Again, to wrap this up, what we want to look at is we have the novelty helmet. These are basically worthless. They're not worth the money you pay for them as far as head protection. The next best helmet you can use is the half helmet. Offers much more protection, is DOT compliant. If you decide you need a little more protection, you want a little more comfort from the elements, you can go to the 3/4 helmet. Then the next one is going to be the modular helmet over here. A lot of touring riders use these. Much more comfortable to wear during the summer months. You can open them up, they have a lot of good airflow. Then again, for the safest helmet you can buy, it's going to be the full face helmet. It affords the most protection to the rider and the passenger. Okay. I've been on riding motorcycles for the police department for several years, I think since about 2002. During that time I've been involved in 2 roadway collisions, one of which my motorcycle was totaled. I was thrown from the bike and I slid for quite a ways. Fortunately, in that incident, I never hit my helmet on the ground. I simply rolled out of the crash. I was very fortunate. The other time I was actually hit by a driver who ran a red light, a very low-speed collision this time, and when I did fly off the motorcycle, I did strike my head on the helmet. Had I not been wearing my helmet, things probably would have turned out differently for me. So this is kind of a personal thing for me to pass on the safety information. We can only give you the information. It's up to you to use it as you see fit. Thank you for watching this episode of Traffic Dip Tuesday. Safe motorcycling.